Welcome on My First Step Ever, a podcast where you learn from stories, genuine stories, real life struggles, and experiences of people who have made it in their life, who've been successful, but without failures, that is never possible. And here's why we learn their stories, we understand their journey. And today, on My First Step Ever, for the very first time, all the way from Austria, we have an amazing guest speaker, and he is doing really, really interesting work in the marketing sales field. So please join me in welcoming Simon Severino, all the way from Austria. Hi, Simon.
Yeah, hi Shani, hi everybody. Happy to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. I would like to introduce you to my listeners. Now, most of them are youth. They're students across all the globe, youngsters who are really trying to find their way in life. And I genuinely think that having you at this point in time in their career would be very helpful and the stage of life to understand how one can make their life to achieve their goals. So, Simon is the CEO of Strategy Sprints, a leading growth advisory consultancy that specializes in agile. We will be talking a lot about that and get to know what exactly he does. But before that, I'll also like to let you know that he is a renowned keynote speaker, a TEDx speaker. And in one simple line, if I can tell you what he can help you with is if you have a business, he can help scale and help your business grow in just a matter of 90 days. And that's a guarantee that he provides. Now, that sort of confidence comes with practice, with lots of trial and error, and then having a particular strategy that fits in different scenarios. But before we jump into that, Simon, what I'm really interested to know that how it all started for you.
So I'm 42 now, and if I remember back, I moved from Rome in Italy, the main city, down to Calabria, which is a much more rural area, and so I was a strangeling. Who is this guy from the main city? And so, when you're a person from the main city and you move to the rural area, you're a strange person. Who is this person? We don't like the people from the main city, right? These people are fancy.
Absolutely.
So I was an outsider. And being an outsider is a great experience for life. You are outside, you have no power, you have no influence, want to make friends, but it's tough. So first thing I learned is how to make friends when you are the outsider, right? But also I became an observer of how people behave. So there are some patterns, there are some words that they use, and there are some people who are in and some people who are out. And so I became an analyst of behavior, right? I had to understand what is their behavior, what ties them together, how do I get in to not be alone all the time, right? And that's a very good exercise for any entrepreneurs later. Best entrepreneurs are immigrants because they have to prove themselves. Nobody knows you when you're new in a country. Nobody knows that you are capable of big responsibility, of big things. And so you have to show everybody. That's the best start for an entrepreneur. I think that it's a universal experience. At some point, right, we get out of our comfort zone. We are in a new land, and that's a good experience. It feels bad in that moment, but it's a good experience because this is where learning happens.
So from what I understand, that your teenage time or your childhood or your growing up days was spent mostly in not a different country, but in a different city altogether, and you felt like an outsider. And I would say that that's a very relevant point that you have touched today at the very beginning of this episode, because most of us in this era, we all want to go out to a different city or to the different country and live a life independently, explore ourselves. And even if someone is living in their own country, this is a feeling of being an outsider or not being able to fit in, which everyone is dealing with. And you have summarized it so beautifully, like for when you really want to prove a point, you have all the courage in the world to, go past all the hurdles. So I think that's a very interesting story, that how entrepreneurs, kind of the mindset generates from and where it comes from. But with you, Simon, as you moved into the new place and you were trying to gel in the with the people around you and trying to analyze the behavior people, what is the top three things that you can maybe think of that you developed during that time that helped you further down in the very beginning of your career?
The first thing that you learn is that you don't have to be in any tribe. You don't have to be like the others. And it's still fine. You can be an outsider for many years, and it's fine. And it's fine. It's also fine to be on your own, to do your own thing, and nobody gets it. It's fine. Just keep on doing it. And so my main learning was, if you have a dream inside of yourself, if there is a song that wants to be sung, just sing it. Don't care what anybody thinks. And the cool thing is, now 30 years later, you don't even need to leave your country physically. We have the internet, people. You can join a mastermind right now with the smartest minds on the planet. You can study at MIT from your home. There are summer courses. There are even free Harvard classes. There are wonderful YouTube channels. You can learn wherever you want from home. Use these opportunities. You can start a podcast like you are doing, which is a great idea, and you will meet the whole world.
Absolutely. That's such a beautiful topic to discuss. We are telling our listeners today that we have greater possibilities of reaching the kind of people that you have ever wanted to, or to do business with the kind of people that you've ever wanted to, or just to portray yourself the way you are to the world from any corner of the world. We have greater accessibility, we have more power, and we have shared experiences nowadays that helps us understand that we really can be who we are. And I think one thing very lovely that you've mentioned, Simon, is in your journey that you really do not need to fit in. And if it's okay if no one understands you as well, what's most important is how you understand yourself. So on that note, Simon, while you were in the phase of your early career days, what would you say were your biggest mistakes, or one biggest mistake that you faced, and at that point in time you felt that that's it, you can never make it in your life? Or how was that experience, if you would like to share something?
I make multiple mistakes every day. If I don't make multiple mistakes every day, I'm not trying hard enough. I'm not going big enough. Because if you don't do multiple mistakes every day, you are not even exploring your possibilities. How do you know what your possibility is? There are no limits. That's the point. There are no limits. And so there are some obstacles that you create because you think you are too young, or you think you should be doing things like everybody else. These are the only obstacles, and you are creating them. There are no other obstacles. Technology is here. You can be an Italian kid like I am, who can't even speak English. You just learn English, you use the internet, well, and you get whatever you want in life. That's the simple thing to share. There are no limits. And so the obstacles are really just in your head. I think go directly. If you have something to say it. And spend more time building stuff. Whatever is fun for you, building. Can be drawing, can be recording videos, can be making music. Spend more time building stuff than consuming stuff. And don't spend time in meetings. If you get a job which has a lot of meetings, try the next job.
Wow, that's very, very interesting point of view. I like to discuss this and if you can elaborate more on this, that why do you find that a job which has a lot of meetings, one should be looking for another job? What's the reason behind that?
Meetings is not where people build stuff. Meetings is where politics happen and bureaucratic people meet to just align. this is not where the magic happens. If you're a young person, you shouldn't waste your time in meetings. Build stuff. It's about creating something that somebody needs. In order to do that, you have to find what makes you happy and what's your superpower. So the only job that you have as a young person is to enjoy life and to build stuff and to play with the world. Whatever it is, you might enjoy playing with drawing or making videos or writing or acting, whatever it is, play with it and find many opportunities, stages, companies, teams where you can do that, where you explore your capabilities until you find your superpower. People will tell you, wow, you can do this really well. And then you got your superpower. And then you are unstoppable. That's it. That's youth. And then when you found that, then you go all in. Then you do your own thing.
This is so interesting because I think, Simon, what you're sharing with us is such important lessons of life at this point in time. And I'm sure that everyone who's listening to us or who's watching us right now can relate to it at some point of time. You really mentioned about how wasting your time in unproductive meetings or conversations which do not lead with an aim cannot really help you, move forward. What one should be looking out for is productive brainstorming sessions where you can create something out of it which can help more people in a community, which is so interesting. And one more interesting stuff that I think you have mentioned over here is understanding your superpower, and that does come with a lot of trial and error. So with you, Simon, in your journey, what I would like to know from you, when did you understand that sales, scaling businesses, marketing is the thing that you are made for? Or how did you come to know about this thing within you, your strengths?
I tried many things in my youth, many different areas, industries, roles in front, roles in the back, roles with big teams, with small teams, with no team. I tried different things, and at some point it clicked, and it was clear who I am here to serve. I'm here to serve entrepreneurs, people who build stuff, because they are lonely and there is nothing really helpful for them. And there is nothing that they can just copy or learn, because being an entrepreneur means you are creating something from nothing. You are creating something that is not there. So there is nothing you can study about it because it's not there yet. You are creating it. And so the only thing is that you keep rolling. And I was like, how can I help people keep rolling? And so I developed a method, the Strategy Sprints method, which came out right now as a book, which helps entrepreneur on the whole planet. In many different countries, there are certified Strategy Sprints coaches that coach entrepreneur with that method, and we help them keep rolling. Keep rolling means basically stay true to who they are and keep every day showing up, creating stuff in loops, in iterations. These are called the sprints. You measure what's really working and you do more of that, and you measure what's not working and you stop doing that, whatever it is. And so week by week, they create stuff that people really need, and people say, yeah, give me more. And that raises sales, and then marketing means nothing else than saying, hey, this helped Peter. That was his situation. Are you like Peter? That's marketing. And so you need to do operations first and sales then marketing. Operations is build stuff, find out what people really need. That's then sales. When people take it from you, you found something that works in sales. Then you start organizing those tasks around sales better. I describe sales workflows in the book. And there are even sales gurus who are our clients, and you will find them in the book. One of them wrote the foreword after being our clients, Anthony Iannarino. Other people are in chapter 1, like Ali Abdal, who's an amazing YouTuber and is my inspiration in terms of YouTube. You'll find many of those stories. Ali was 26. This story, how he made millions with one product launch, is in chapter 1, and he was 26. So being young is not as relevant anymore. We have all the same distance to other people right now. The age doesn't matter. Wi-Fi matters. If you have Wi-Fi, you can crush it, and just go for it. And you'll find a ton of examples in the book that might inspire you. And I guess that's a really good educational piece, because it's full of blueprints and checklists. It's like a manual of how you start and your sales workflows, your marketing workflows, and what to really do in operations, meaning making customers really happy. How can you create it a wow experience? And how can you start building a team?
Lovely. I'm really grateful that you could actually summarize your learning into your book that can help a lot of other people who are stepping into this industry or who would like to learn a thing about sales and marketing, which is, I think, essential to any sort of business that you are in and in any position that you are. That really is helpful. So thank you so much, and would be really amazing for people who are listening to us who are interested if they would like to have a read of the book. But now that we have you here, I think we are a bit lucky to have you here. So I would like to ask one question over here. While you, as I think most of your strategies come from experimentation and then really taking out the ones that have worked, but it also differs from different kind of clients. Similarly, how have you built your sustainable habits for success in the past years that you can share with our audience today?
I have 3 practical things, 3 habits that I do: daily habit, weekly habit, monthly habit. They are the core of the strategy sprints method. And I have heroes that I study and that I follow on YouTube and everywhere else. And then I think, what would they do? What would they do? One of those heroes, by the way, is an Indian guy. He's called Sadhguru. And so I follow him on YouTube. He's very active on YouTube. And I watch him every day. And I think, what would he do now? And then I do it. So the 3 habits and then the heroes. The 3 habits are daily habit, weekly habit, monthly habit. They are the core of the strategy sprints method. Daily habit is a very specific exercise where you write down how you are spending your time, what you will delegate next, and if you would think bigger, if you would live more intentionally and more freely, what would you do tomorrow? And that's how you create your agenda of tomorrow. Then, because you create your day. Whatever you think, you create your day. And that's exactly when it happens, every day. Then the second thing, the weekly, is getting all the numbers in one simple dashboard. Marketing numbers, sales numbers, operations numbers every 7 days. That's a huge difference to most companies. And that's why it's a sprint method, because it's right here, right now. It's like Angry Birds. You shoot the bird, 500 points. You shoot the bird, 600 points. You don't wait 3 weeks for a report. That's the sprint life. And then the monthly meeting is checking what our competitors doing. Do we need to change something, or do we just run the way we are running it right now? These are the 3 habits. If you have this in place, you can stand most weathers: good weather, bad weather, markets collapsing, markets bull run. You can stand all of that, right? The blockchain revolution coming, you can stand it. Blockchain disappearing again, you can still stand it, because you have early signals that tell you early in the weekly dashboard what's going on, and you have daily the chance to adapt. That's agility. So you are quicker than the outside changes. You can react quick enough, and then you are controlling your 5% that are in your controls. Everything else is not in your control, except that you keep rolling, you keep having fun, you keep showing up and playing with the world and dancing with the things that are here. That's it. These are the 3 habits. And then I have some heroes, and heroes are better than mentors, because mentors, they don't really care. You see them once a month, once a year, and then they will have coffee with you. Okay, it's nice. But a hero you have with you 24/7. And a hero can be Buddha, can be Jesus Christ, can be a tennis player. So I pick Sadhguru because he's a CEO. He runs a global movement that is very active. And he doesn't even pay people. It's a free movement of people. They want to do stuff. They want to contribute to a mission. And so they click into the mission and they do stuff. And he always makes a joke, because people that are honorary employees, they are the hardest to lead, because they don't listen to you, right? They are not your real employees, so they do whatever they want. It's much harder to lead them. And he does it with such a grace. He never works. You will never see him grumpy in a meeting. Well, first of all, he's not in meetings. You will never find great people in meetings. And goes back to what we discussed at the beginning. Yeah. You will never see him in meetings. And you will never see him working. You will never see him grumpy, like, we have to do this. He's never grumpy. He's always happy. He's always playing with the world, dancing with the world, literally dancing, always smiling, talks about death, smiling. We are all going to die, ha ha ha. And so he's always in that, what we call peak state. He's always relaxed and happy. He's enjoying the moment. He's not thinking about anything that he needs to solve or whatever. And he plays with the world. Right now, he's talking about soil and why it's important that we do soil. And he's putting in a ton of interviews every day. I think on average, he has 3-4 interviews every day, which I know how it feels because I'm also having 3-4 interviews every day. But if you look at him, he's never working. He's never pushing or putting any effort in it. He's just being. That's his form of play. He's playing with the moment and dancing with the moment. And I think this is really important. Whatever age we are, it's important to be in the moment, to play with it. And you, why I pick the Sadhguru example is you can be a global CEO of a worldwide movement without ever working. He's not working. He's being himself and playing with the world and sharing from a place of love and of caring.
Thank you, Simon. I was so intently listening to your hero. I could definitely see the love that you have for him and how passionately you speak about the qualities that you like about him, and that's something that you would like to imbibe. So thank you so much for taking through your journey to all our listeners. And even I have had such a nice time chatting with you today, understanding how you have come so far, what has helped you be the person that you are, how you have failed and how you have overcome that. And I think what's so interesting that we are leaving our listeners with the mindset of having sprint strategy, which is like having short-term strategies and like you keep achieving them. It's like a checklist that you have every day and that gives you the boost to keep going on. So I am so happy that you have honored this podcast today and have shared the pearls of wisdom from your experiences. So thank you so much. And before we leave, I would just like to ask you, I always ask our speakers to leave our listeners with a quote or a saying that they resonate with the most.
Oh, a quote. Yeah, my quote, I don't know where I got it from, but it's keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. Maybe I came up with it. It's keep rolling. Really, it's the most important thing. Whatever happens, you will have good days, bad days, high energy, low energy. Doesn't matter. It's like the weather. Is the weather really important? It comes, it goes. It's not in your control. Who cares? It's the song that it's inside your chest, right? This is what matters. And don't be the one who stops that song.
I absolutely love the musical touch to your advice. Listen to the song inside your heart. Keep rolling. Keep playing with the world around you. I really like those terms that you've used today and something that I'm going to take away from today's episode. So thank you so much, Simon,